Waking the sleeping tigers. Do not underestimate the holdouts, the sleeping tigers. So, who are these sleeping tigers? They are the holdouts, the ones you gave up on because you thought they would never get it. They have been unconscious and self serving. While many who are in service to humanity have become somewhat hopeless about anything changing for the better, the sleeping tigers will take a different approach. When they awaken to what is seriously unfair, they will push back in great numbers and with a force that even you will fear. Do not underestimate these sleeping tigers, as they will move mountains when awakened to the obvious decline of humanity. They will be a powerful force in both size and effect when pushed to their limit. So do not underestimate them, as they will radically shift the odds in favor of what's right when it's most needed, at least at first. When the sleeping tigers awaken, they will be furious about the harm that has been done to humanity. They won't be seeking a spiritual solution. They will be on a mission to blatantly stop the tyranny. Therefore, for these sleeping tigers, this will be a revolutionary year of might makes right. On the sidelines will be those who continue working toward the greater good. There will also be those who think someone else will fix all the problems. Both groups of people will be shocked by the chaos and instability these now awakened people will cause. This may even make the two sideliner groups consider going along with the established ways for the sake of what promises some sort of stability. This would work against any ground the Tigers made, which would outrage them. The only way people can avoid this and be truly effective is by organizing. This is a non-reactive approach. In the beginning, it will take longer due to its structure, but it will be solid so it can blossom while building strength. In the early stages, this attempt will have low appeal due to the emotions of outrage among those who just woke up. A little chaos goes a long way as sides pick sides. Similar to being in a war, anger will rule for as long as it takes for the majority of people to grow tired of the conflict. And like a war, it will take a lot of time and resources to finally achieve a balance. Looking back, the time it took will be the saddest part of it all because of the pain and suffering so many will experience. So, what could you do right now to be part of the solution? It starts with taking responsibility for knowing yourself. Yes, it's a responsibility. When you know yourself, you won't feel inclined to choose chaos to make a point. Instead, you will be able to control yourself. You will have the capacity to hear both sides without bias. Rather than waiting for someone else to figure out how to organize and address the injustices, you will start doing things to organize yourself, your thinking, your feelings, and the possible solutions to the suffering the conflict is causing. Have no doubt, these chaotic times will force you to make life changing choices too. This is the path that I was placed on right from the beginning of my life. I had no choice but to find a way to make sense of the senseless world I found myself in. I discovered how to do this by journaling. It wasn't long before I realized I wasn't alone. Valuable guidance was showing up in my writings, helping me understand what was confusing and disturbing me, like a two-way conversation. By doing this, I was able to think everything through with clarity. If you are ready to take your own self on, then get the journal that I wrote especially for these reasons. Just click the QR code displayed under my face to download and become an example for others to follow. Okay, and now I'm going to read from the little book, How to Live a Guided Life, First Steps. We teach you differently, and this is from the guides. Where do you go to get your education? Traditionally, people went to formal educational institutions. You can seek out your education for a long time. You can learn a lot about one thing or a little about many things. It depends on what you intend to do with it. If you know a lot about one thing, you can become a teacher or expert in that field. We teach you differently. You must have the knowledge, and that's what you get with the formal training or education. We teach wisdom, which is very different. You could go outside and look around, and if you have an education, you could describe everything you see. But when you have wisdom, you look around and describe everything you can't see. There's a great difference, but you need both. You can't be heavy in one and light in the other. You must strike a balance, and that's where we guide you to go. You may have the knowledge to play the piano, but without the wisdom, you can't feel the music. And this is how it works for me. This is what it feels like when you live in two worlds simultaneously. It's a blend of the magical and practical. You see people who are really good at one or the other, but that's no longer good enough. To give the world what they are truly yearning for, you need to express your knowledge and wisdom by being authentic, novel, and daring. The important things are the hardest to say. They are like landmarks to a treasure that are uniquely yours and only you can convey. Okay, so like always, you have help. You are never alone and always being guided.